So a few weeks ago, you guys told me to talk about USC's Onyeka Okongwu, and here we are. Obviously, we met him his sophomore year in high school at Chino Hills, when dude was teammates with LaMelo and LiAngelo, and of course, he was a part of that legendary team, the #1 team in the country, with Lonzo Ball, Melo, Jello, Eli Scott, and of course himself, when they won the national championship, I think, and they were ranked the #1 team in the entire nation. Yeah, so he's been a top rated player for a long time, and even at one point he was ranked higher than LaMelo Ball. And obviously after going to USC, he's turned himself into a potential top 5 pick. So let's talk about it. Alright, so what is good, YouTube? It's your boy LegendaryEA. We are back here for another video, and today I'm talking about another prospect. And like I said, we're talking about Onyeka Okongwu out of USC, out of Chino Hills. You guys already know the vibes. If you guys enjoy these kind of videos, make sure you go ahead and like it up, and of course subscribe. Liking the video helps the channel grow, and I appreciate it so much. And of course share it and tweet it at him, because today we're gonna get down to the truth about what I think about his game. Now, as always, you guys, let me know what you guys think about it in the comment section below. Where do you guys see him getting drafted to? Who do you guys compare Onyeka to? Like, who do you guys think his game most likely resembles? And like I said, which team do you guys think should draft him, and where do you guys see his potential at? As always, keep it all positive vibes. We want him to turn into a beast as usual, but let's get straight into it. So obviously, like I said before, Onyeka had himself an amazing season at USC. Boy turned himself from being projected in the 20s to potentially being a top 5 pick in this year's draft. Currently, he's 6'9", 245, plays power forward and center. And this season, in 28 games, he averaged 16 points, nearly 9 rebounds, shot 62% from the field. He shot 25% from the 3, and his 3 was actually, like, one of those 3s that he hit was pretty freaking nice. And he also averaged 2.7 blocks per game, nearly 3 blocks per game. So the dude was obviously a beast. But anyways, guys, you guys already know some of the strengths that Onyeka has is that he's super athletic. He is a rim protector, and he's a really versatile defender as well. Now he does show signs that he could be a solid jump shooter. He just needs to actually work on that a little bit more, in my opinion. But I do think that he can be a really great player. So far, I've seen him compared to the likes of Bam Adebayo, but I really just think that they do that because he's African as well. I mean, I see that a little bit, but comparisons like John Collins is a good one as well. So those two players are really solid comparisons. He's really athletic, like I said before, and he can honestly be a really good player if he lands on the right team. But that's how it is for all of these guys. If they end up on the right team, they can be so good. According to 27 Sports, he was the 2nd ranked player coming out of California. And like I said before, the dude was an absolute monster at Chino Hills. And matter of fact, after LaMelo left and people thought that the team wasn't going to be good, he led them to another championship. So that is definitely something to actually be looked at. He's a really good post player. One of the negatives that I've actually seen against him is that they do say that he does rely a little bit too much on athleticism, but I'm sure that that is something that he can actually work on. And like I said before, I do expect him to be working on his jump shot, especially his standard jump shooting. I think that he could definitely become better at that. So as usual, you guys already know, normally during these things, I do tell you guys some teams I think that he'd work perfectly on. So I'm gonna go ahead and list them right now. One team that I think that he could actually benefit from and actually work perfectly with would be the Golden State Warriors. So I've already made a video talking about who I think that the Warriors should be looking at. I've named players like Obi Toppin, and of course Anthony Edwards and LaMelo Ball if they want to gear towards the future. And ultimately, I said James Wiseman should be their pick. However, if they wanted to go a different route, somebody who actually played more college games, Onyeka probably would be that one, because like I said, with age already takes Obi Toppin out of this equation. And then when I look at skill set, I still think he's there. Like, I don't think that the Warriors go after a guard So looking at a center like Onyeka or James Wiseman would honestly be the best move for them. I think that he can fit in with their team perfectly. It really just depends on where they land in the draft lottery. If they have the #1 pick or the 2nd pick, obviously you don't go that route. Even the 3rd pick, maybe if you have like the 5th pick, the 6th pick, the 7th pick, this is definitely the route to actually go. Some other teams that Onyeka could actually work with would definitely be teams like the Washington Wizards and the Phoenix Suns. Last year, the Washington Wizards took Rui Hachimura, and I do know that this year he was playing a lot of power forward, and even if that continues, I think Onyeka is a way better option than Thomas Bryant or whoever else they actually plan at playing there. I think that he's definitely a way better option than that, and he brings a defensive force that they just did not have. Another team would be the Phoenix Suns. Obviously, playing next to DeAndre Ayton is definitely going to be a plus no matter how you actually do it, but if he can actually have time to develop next to that along with Booker, because he could work really well in the pick and roll, that could be a really good team as well. And another team that he could really work well with is the San Antonio Spurs. If San Antonio got lucky in the lottery, because obviously they're not making the playoffs, starting their rebuild around Onyeka is not the worst thing possible. I've said this numerous times. They need to move past LaMarcus Aldridge. I don't think that he's an effective center for any team. And if you want to still get a defensive minded player, going Onyeka with that pick is definitely not a bad option. So I know that this video was a little short, but I think that Onyeka is going to be a really talented player. As far as his potential goes, I mean, the thing with centers is the league is so much built around guards or guys who can run in transition, run the offense, and shoot the 3 and just do everything else. I mean, it's kind of the same as what it was with James Wiseman. Now, James Wiseman is a little different because James Wiseman is 7'1", but Onyeka is still 6'9". He's still really athletic. I could see him being the 3rd best player on a championship roster, and that's a really good thing. Like, I know that some people are calling this draft weak, but if I've seen a draft since that 2017 draft, this draft is probably has the most talent wise. Like, we can go down to like pick 16, pick 15, pick 19, and you could still potentially get a really good player. This draft could actually produce a lot of role players, and role players are really important. I mean, if you look at most drafts, most of their 1st round picks don't end up being good, and I think in this one we're gonna see a lot of these guys stay on rosters for a while. But anyways, guys, let me know what you guys think about it in the comment section below. What do you guys think of Onyeka Okongwu, and where do you guys think he's gonna be going? Where do you guys see his potential? At bare minimum, he is a average starter, but his ceiling, he could actually be what Bam is to the Miami Heat. He can actually be a really important piece to a championship team. That's just what I think. But other than that, you guys make sure to go ahead and follow me on Twitter at LegendaryEA. I always interact on there, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Let me know who we should do this with next. But I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm out. Peace, y'all.